equinox here for fall. What a great matchup we got tonight, at least on the Steelers side of things. We got the 4-2 Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the 0-6 49ers. So 49ers yet to win a game. Steelers looking to add another win to their book. Join me in the broadcast booth, Hunter McKinnon, Mason Urban here. Welcome to Monday Night Football. We are ready to kick this off. We had some exciting matchups this week, partner, and we got an exciting matchup tomorrow night to close out Week 7. With that being the Bengals and Cardinals in Madrid. Here's the kickoff, and off we go. Hurdles one defender. Brought down. So the 49ers are looking for their first win this season. You got the Steelers looking for win number 5. Tomorrow night's matchup, though, in Madrid will be interesting. Both those teams are 4-2, and Purdy's first pass intercepted. Thornhill. What a start. So here's Rodgers and the Steelers. First down and 10 after the interception. And Rodgers' first pass is intercepted as well. You gonna call a game, bud? There's Christian McCaffrey taken down in the backfield. Jalen Ramsey tackles him for a loss, 2nd and 13. Purdy takes the snap, fires, pass, caught, first down. Kendrick Bourne and more. Purdy takes the snap, looking, fires. He's incomplete, intended for Ricky Pearsall. Airing that one deep. Jawan Jennings hauls it in. Purdy looking, hands it off. McCaffrey loses 5 yards on the play, brings up 2nd and 15. Looking, got it off in time. Jawan Jennings. It is Purdy. Fires Kendrick Bourne. Stopped a few yards shy of the end zone. So it was a crazy start, partner. 49ers get the ball first. Brock Purdy throws an interception on his first pass attempt. And then the Steelers get the ball, and then Aaron Rodgers throws an interception on his first pass attempt. And now the 49ers are knocking on the door. Like we said, the 49ers are winless. They are 0-6, partner. Trying to get their first win of the season today, and they started off on the right foot with a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, realistically, they could still make a push for the postseason, right? 6 losses is the most you can have. They're gonna have to go on an 8-game winning streak, though. That was CMC, aka Christian McCaffrey, taking that one in for the touchdown. Eddie Pinheiro on for the extra point attempt. That kick up and good makes it 7-0. Well, next week we got a nice Monday Night Football matchup for you. It's the Browns and Commanders from Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland. Coverage starts 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on FoxTube TV. And week 8, which that Monday night matchup we just listed is the Monday night finale of week 8. Week 8, though, kicks off with the Jaguars and Colts. And then the Raiders and Broncos on Thursday night. And then we have our Friday night matchup between the Chiefs and Saints. And then our Saturday night matchup is the Texans and Titans. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 10. And then our Sunday matchup is the Patriots and Bengals. So we have exciting matchups for you. Third and 10. Intercepted again by Brown. Brown fumbled it on the return, and it's recovered by the Steelers. So they get the ball right back. Rodgers, plenty of time, looking, fires, incomplete. The 49ers have not had luck on their side this entire season. But now they're starting to come alive. Metcalf makes the catch inside the 30. Send that to the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Metcalf. Rodgers looking, fires for Freiermuth, incomplete. Send that one to the end zone, incomplete. He dropped it. And it'll be a 43-yard try for Pittsburgh. That kick is up and good. Makes it 7-3. So Pittsburgh, Rodgers throws another interception. The 49ers fumble it on the return. Rodgers leads them down the field for a field goal. It is a 4-point 49ers lead. Yes, it is. I mean, 49ers, like we said, looking for their first win this season, right? They got to go on an 8-game winning streak to try to make the playoffs. It's going to take an absolute miracle. No team has done that before in the history of the Summer League. And fun fact, the 49ers have never made the playoffs in the Summer League. They've came close to it. They finished 6-4. Back in 2022. Unfortunately, just missed out on the wild card round. So, like we said, it's an 8-game win streak or potentially go home for the 49ers. That is intercepted. They put Purdy under pressure. Here's Porter, and he's going to run this all the way back for a pick six. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in Berlin. And this is, this season, still plenty of game to go here, but this season is just stressful for the 49ers. They are the only team in their division without a win through 7 weeks of football, and possibly 8 if they can't, turn this game around early. So, like I said, there's a possibility they could go on an 8-game winning streak, but it's going to take a lot. Right now for comeback team of the year, it's looking like it's going to go to the Chicago Bears. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears a little bit, partner. Last season, they win the championship. And then the start of this season, they make history, and not in a good way. They are the first team to win the national championship the season before and to start the next season 0-3. But Chicago has turned it around. The Bears, where are they? The Bears are now 4-3, so they've won 4 straight games after losing the first 3 games of the season. So what a turnaround for Chicago. And unless if we have a miracle like the Buccaneers, who are oh, I lie. Yeah. No, I didn't lie. Okay. So if the 49ers win this game, which that's the end of the first quarter, but if the 49ers win this game, they still have a chance at comeback team of the year and the title. If they don't, it's looking like that's going to belong to Chicago. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 10 for the 49ers as we start the second quarter of play. For 2nd and 10 from their own 45. Here's Purdy. Launching that one deep, incomplete, intended for Pearsall. All right, now this is where you prioritize the first down over big plays right here. 3rd and 10, no reason you should be throwing this downfield unless if you get a man that wide open. Pearsall, what a catch, what a run, to the end zone, touchdown. That was pretty nice if you ask me on that throw. Ricky Pearsall off this nice pass from Brock Purdy, and that's what we were talking about. Don't throw it that deep downfield unless you get a man open. Pearsall was there to make the play, and he just had him outran. They got him around the 1-yard line, but they weren't able to get his knee down in time, and that's a touchdown. The 49ers want to keep their season alive. That is just good. So the 49ers retake the lead here. Remember what happened last time the 49ers scored a touchdown? The Steelers kicked a field goal, got a turnover, and then scored a touchdown. Hurdles one as quickly brought down. Rodgers back to work. If the Steelers fail to win this game, it will drop them to 4-3, so still in contention for the postseason, as that's incomplete for 2nd and 10. And again, it would give a good chance to the 49ers to try to come back out of this hole they're in. Got it off. DK Metcalf making another aggressive catch downfield. That's his 2nd catch for 87 total yards. Oh, Rodgers going to go down. Winters got him for a sack. 2nd and 18. Coming up. All right, you want to try to make this a little more manageable 3rd down or get them closer to field goal range, and it's going to be a manageable 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd and 8. So gain of 10 on the play. Get it off. Does. Wilson, nobody around. Touchdown. Steelers back in the front. That was just a nice play from Aaron Rodgers there. Nobody around Wilson. Wilson, nice job getting it into the end zone, and Steelers going to be back up 3. As the extra point is good, makes it 17-14. 5 plays, 71 yards, a minute 34. Might as well to kick this one away. This might be a neck-and-neck game, partner. Oh, look at that big kickoff return all the way to the 45. And if Darius Slay didn't bring him down there, that could have easily been a kickoff return touchdown. And we have yet to see one of those this season, partner. Nice return by the 49ers there. Jawan Jennings makes the catch. Oh, hit as he threw it. That's going to be incomplete. Second and 10. Purdy looking for Pearsall again. Incomplete. If you can't get this 1st down, at least you're in field goal range to try to tie this game up. Going to Christian McCaffrey, and it's going to be 4th and short, so out trots the kicker, Eddie Pinheiro. That kick is blocked and recovered by the Steelers. Nice job by the Steelers special teams unit for getting the block. And instead of giving up points, they give up none. They get it 1st and 10 at their own 36. Rodgers threw it too low. That's incomplete, intended for Austin. Rodgers gonna play keeper. He's got the 1st down. Get that one off and dropped. Rodgers looking, going for Metcalf again, and that time he can't haul it in. Incomplete, intended for Metcalf. Brings up 3rd and 10. Looking for Wilson. Picks up the 1st down. It'll be 1st and 10 at the opponent 35 for Pittsburgh, and that will be the 2-minute warning. 17-14, Steelers lead it. You're watching the NFL on FoxTube TV. Don't go anywhere. And just like that, welcome back. Rodgers looking. Metcalf knocked away. Incomplete. Going for Freiermuth as tight end. That's a touchdown, Pittsburgh. And they are an extra point away from taking a 10-point lead. If the 49ers lose this one, even if they win out, there is a chance that they could miss out on the postseason. 7 plays, 64 yards, a minute and 11 seconds. So this is a must-win. Each and every week from now on is a must-win. That's the disadvantages to starting winless. They are 0-6 coming into this game, with a possibility of going 0-7. They got to try to get out of this hole and come back and win this game. Luckily for them, there's no need to freak out just yet. Purdy looking for Pearsall. He's got him for the first down. And let's not forget, the 49ers did lead this game twice. They scored the first touchdown, forced a field goal by the Steelers. Then they obviously threw the pick six. Then Purdy found Pearsall for the touchdown downfield, as that one's incomplete. And that was the last time they led in this game, as they gave up a touchdown to the Steelers, and then they missed that field goal. Going for Jawan Jennings, and completes. Third and 10. The Steelers found themselves in this situation, got out of it. Incomplete. And now it's going to trot the punting unit for the first time for the 49ers. 67 seconds to go in the half. Rodgers looking. He did not haul it in. That's incomplete, says the official. Nice catch and run there. 3rd down and 3 coming up. Austin makes the catch. And the Steelers are going to use their first timeout. They have a chance to put 3 more on this lead going into half. The closer they can get, the better, though. Still 2 timeouts. It is. So the Steelers have a chance to run one more play to call their last time out to get the field goal. Rodgers going to hand it off to Warren. And now they're going to call their final timeout. It's going to be Boswell on to attempt a field goal. to make it 27-14 going into half. The 32-yard attempt is good. So the Steelers lead it 27-14 at half. Let's go downstairs to Jonathan Coachman. Well, thank you, Coach, and it's our pleasure to have everyone back here for quarter number 3. Mason Urbane, Hunter McKinnon here in the FoxTube TV booth. As Pinero's on to kick it away, the second half underway here in Berlin. Oh, that's going to turn into a touchback to start the second half. How about Rodgers and his offense partner? Up 27-14. They get the ball first to start the second half. Chance to score again, make it a 24-point game. Nice catch for a gain of 6 there. Gain of 7 there by DK Metcalf. Brings up 2nd and 3. Freiermuth can't make the catch. Incomplete. 3rd and 3 on 3rd and short here. Don't need to throw it deep. Just need to get it off. Nice. Freiermuth dropped it. That brings up 4th and short. We'll see what they do here. I'd say I'd go for this. It's not a terrible decision to go for it. 4th and short, they are going to go for it. And he dropped it. And the 49ers are going to take over 1st and 10 at the opponent 27. That is just unfortunate. You can't have that happen. But, hey, I can't say I blame them for going for it, right? 4th and short, they say 4th and 5 or less, go for it. That's the usual thing to do as McCaffrey gets a gain of 1. And the worst that happens if you get a stop here is you potentially give up a field goal. But we've also seen them block one. Looking for Jawan Jennings, end zone. Brock Purdy's still down on the field. And we're going to have to take a second look at that. Did he haul that in? That would be insane if he did haul that in. But from what it looked like up here, that looked like a potential catch in the end zone for a touchdown. Where was his feet at, though? That's the question. And they're going to say no, so that's going to cost San Francisco a timeout. Listen, I don't fault Kyle Shanahan there for challenging that, because to me, that looked like a touchdown from up here in this booth. So, unfortunately, was unable to get both feet down in bounds, though. So that will cost them a timeout, and out will try Eddie Pinero again to try to make this a 10-point Pittsburgh lead. That kick is no good. To the right. And it looks like they're going to have to score touchdowns if they want to try to come back and win this one. Realistically, they only need 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points to take the lead, the 49ers do. Throws to the right side. That's incomplete. That was intended for DK Metcalf. Rodgers, short pass. Kenneth Gainwell, the former Philadelphia Eagle, picks up 6. Brings up 3rd and 4. Rodgers looking. Got it. Oh, incomplete. Never mind. That looked like a catch. It was going to be a catch for Wilson there, and just unfortunate. Now, 4th and short again. They went for it and failed once. Do you take that risk again? It looks like they're going to be willing to take that risk again. And Metcalf's going to get the first down and more. To the opponent, 38. Rodgers takes the snap. Gets it off in time. End zone. Metcalf in off his fingertips. That was great coverage there on the play. 2nd and 10. Going for Metcalf again. He can't haul it in. Brings up 3rd and 10. Got it dumped off and incomplete to Austin, and that's a 3 and out after the 4th down conversion. It'll be a 55-yard attempt by Boswell to make it a 30-14 ball game. Boswell's kick is good. This one's getting out of reach quick for San Francisco. San Francisco is seeing their chances to make the comeback of the century and save their season disappear. And what was that? Here's Christian McCaffrey. Okay. Gain of 2. They're doing pretty good job stopping Christian McCaffrey's run tonight. He hasn't got that many yards. Purdy looking. Fires. He's got Jawan Jennings, who stays on his feet for a moment, but is quickly brought down. Second and 10, as that was no gain. Here's Purdy looking, intercepted by Darius Slay, another former Philadelphia Eagle. First and 10 at the San Francisco 35 for Pittsburgh. Rodgers looking, airing it all the way to the end zone from Metcalf, incomplete. I don't blame Rodgers for the shot to the end zone there. I mean, it's kind of frustrating. Your last 2 drives ended in field goals. And that's going the other way. Wagner with the pick. But I don't blame Aaron Rodgers for that first pass where he took a shot to the end zone. And that's because, obviously, last 2 drives ended in field goals. You want to try to score a touchdown, right? Continue to put this game away. Unfortunately, your second pass after that, you just threw an interception trying to throw it back to DK Metcalf on a different route. Fred Warner comes away with the pick. That's just nice defense by Fred Warner. Now, if Purdy can just get the offense rolling like he had it in that early in that first and second quarter, that's all San Francisco needs to potentially get a comeback going here. There's still plenty of time to go in this game. Still plenty of chance for a comeback, but you only need 3 touchdowns, but you got to score them now. Or you could do it with 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And Purdy goes down for a sack. 2nd and 18. Purdy takes the snap. Looking in. He's going to get sacked again. And it'll be 3rd and 29 when we come back. 30-14. Steelers lead it after the third quarter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Monday Night Football here on FoxTube TV. Welcome back to Monday Night Football. Ready to start the 4th and final quarter of play here. San Francisco down 30-14. Purdy's been sacked 2 times in a row. Trying to get his team out of this hole as much as he can. And it'll be 4th and 14. And I would honestly, the worst that happens if you give more points the other way, but I'd honestly go for this. You're down a bunch here. You got to try to score early and try to get the ball back to try to score at least 2 more times to cut into this lead further. Purdy goes down, and that's going to be that drive. Austin is open and in for the touchdown. 1 play for the Steelers. Calvin Austin, nice catch, nice route ran. Look at this. It was even a nice pass from Rodgers. Nice deep pass right there. Calvin Austin there to make the play. Got it into the end zone for the touchdown. And any chance that a comeback might be over for Pittsburgh. Or for San Francisco, sorry. Said the wrong team. 1 play, 23 yards in 5 seconds. It took Pittsburgh to score. And for the 49ers, 0-7 is looming. What is it going to take for this team to have a good season? What is it going to take for this team to finally make the postseason? Well, tomorrow night over on NBS TV on Twitch, Week 7 wraps up with the Bengals and Cardinals on Tuesday Night Football. That game, coverage for that game starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NBS_TV_2024 on Twitch. All lowercase letters. And incomplete, intended for Ricky Pearsall. Tomorrow night's matchup will be a good one. Bengals 4-2, Cardinals 4-2 going in that game. Cardinals in the same conference as the 49ers here. They actually lead that conference. As we mentioned, the 49ers are the only team in the NFC West without a win. It's just been struggle after struggle for these guys this season. And here on 4th down and 1, they got to score here. And then I'm thinking onside kick. Got it off, but it's incomplete for Jawan Jennings. Another turnover on downs, and if Pittsburgh scores again, this game is definitely over, and I imagine if you're getting that situation again as San Francisco, you're just going to want to punt the ball. Rodgers got rid of it just in time. The 49ers might get lucky here. They might only give up a field goal. 3rd and 10. Corner of the end zone, incomplete. Oh, Pittsburgh's calling a timeout here. We'll see what they do. Looks like it's just going to be a 50-yard field goal attempt to make it 40-14. They'll kick off. And never mind, he was going to try a fake, try to get a touchdown. That stalls out. So now it's 1st and 10, 49er football at their own 33. Steps back to avoid the rush, gets it off. Pearsall. Nice catch and run into enemy territory. And they're going to run a hurry-up offense play. I like this idea. Run a hurry-up offense play. Try to save as much time as you can. Incomplete. This could be the 49ers' last chance to try to score at least one more time before the end of this game. Going for McCaffrey. It almost is tipped into his hands, and that is incomplete. A field goal really does you no good here except make it a 20-point game, so you might as well go for it. At least Pittsburgh will be pinned deep this time if you don't get it. Giving it all he's got, that's almost intercepted, and that's a turnover on downs. What a game for Pittsburgh. 49ers lead this ball game twice, but unfortunately, they're going to walk out of here 0-7. And, Austin almost made an insane catch there. Incomplete. Tried to get it to Metcalf. I think you go for the first down here. Got that off to Gainwell. He's stopped a few yards shy. That was a gain of 6 on that play. Rodgers to Gainwell, and he is denied. That's a turnover on downs. I like that idea to throw a short pass there, but unfortunately nobody was there to block for Gainwell, so he was unable to get the first down. Purdy's going to get sacked. Purdy looking, fires, passes, incomplete. 3rd and 19. Looking, going for Christian McCaffrey and incomplete. Stepping back to avoid the rush. Purdy sending it deep downfield. And Bourne can't haul it in. That's incomplete. Gainwell can't haul that one in. That would have been a first down. Instead, 2nd and 10. Rodgers looking. There is Wilson, who dropped it. It's another drop for the Steelers. They've been dropping a lot of them ever since they went for it on that fake field goal. Freiermuth gotta make something, and he does. 4th and inches. And that's the 2-minute warning. "53-yard field goal from here, and I think this time they're hopefully just going to attempt the 53-yard field goal. Boswell's kick is up, and it is good. So it is 40-14. Three Steelers drives today end in field goals. One just before half to make it 27-14. One in the 3rd quarter to make it 30-14. And then one here in the 4th quarter to make it 40-14. And this is the thing about the Steelers. They're going to continue, as that's caught, so that's a catch finally. But this is the thing about the Steelers. They're going to continue to score here, I have a feeling, until this game is over. Looking for Jawan Jennings. It's incomplete. 3rd and 7. Third down and 7. Purdy stepping back to avoid the rush. Incomplete. 4th and 7. Just trying to give everything he can give to try to get them downfield to score a touchdown. Or at least, I guess at this point, a field goal would be good too. Throws it short and complete. 67 seconds to go. Hayward picks up the first down with his legs. Rodgers hands it off. Here's Warren. First down. And the 49ers are going to call a timeout. A little too late for that. Rodgers Hand it off to Warren. 49ers going to use their last timeout, and I think they just want to talk about how this game went and get prepared to make the long trip back to Santa Clara, California, while the Steelers are going to enjoy a nice trip back to Pittsburgh. Going for Metcalf at his feet in the end zone. Third and goal, intercepted by Fred Warner. Right at the goal line. Purdy. Gonna heave one deep. It's intercepted. Purdy tried to heave a Hail Mary downfield to potentially try to get some more points, and fortunately for him, through the INT. 9 seconds left. Going deep for Austin and complete. Rodgers, and couldn't get it off before Bosa got there, but it doesn't matter. Pittsburgh wins. Homie, where was you the entire game? That was a good game. You're good. I was just wondering. You just missed a good game, though. So the Steelers win it 40-14. Again, their trip back to Pittsburgh's a little shorter than the 49ers trip back to the States because the 49ers got to go all the way to Santa Clara, California. And with them having to go all the way to Santa Clara, California, this loss is going to stick with them. And it should, honestly, in my opinion. Let me tell you something, partner. When you take a loss this bad in the NFL, especially after you've led not once but twice in this game, you need to let that live rent-free. Let me make sure I say it the right way. You need to let that live rent-free in your head. Never forget it. And besides, you're probably not going to see this team in the playoffs this season, but there's a chance you could see this team next season. Or maybe even in a couple weeks. You just never know. I tell you what, though, the Steelers finished runner-up last season. They lost the championship to Chicago, but they're playing good ball. I think that the Steelers potentially could become the new Falcons. Let me tell you about the Falcons. So the very first national championship that was played in Detroit was between the Falcons and Bills. Falcons had that game tied up. They sent it to overtime. Unfortunately, the Bills went down the field and scored the game-winning touchdown. The Bills won the very first championship game. About 2 seasons later, the Falcons get back to the championship. They play the Lions. in National Championship 3. Guess what, partner? Game is tied at 49. Lions get down the field, kick a field goal as time expires to win their second consecutive national championship. Falcons were 0-2 in national championships. Then, the very next season, the league said, you know what? The teams that play in the national championship, one has to be from the AFC and one has to be from the NFC. So for the very first year, in 2022, it was the Lions and Ravens in the very first AFC versus NFC national championship. Lions beat the Ravens in a walk-off touchdown in overtime, as that was Danny Amendola's last career catch in the NFL. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with the Falcons, but it does have to tie into the next season. Fast forward to 2023. The Falcons and Lions met up in the NFC Championship game, meaning this time, whoever lost the game, they were going to Cancun, Mexico, and the other team was going to the championship. The Falcons blew out the Lions in the NFC Championship game, got their revenge for that national championship. And guess what they did? They went and they defeated the Houston Texans for their very first national championship. So the Falcons are 1-2 in national championships. Right now, the Steelers are 0-1. They lost the national championship last season to the Chicago Bears. But I will not be surprised if they become the new Falcons and potentially win the national championship. All right, well, one last look at the matchup for tomorrow over on NBS TV on Twitch. It's the 4-2 Bengals taking on the 4-2 Cardinals to close out Week 7. And then our Week 8 Monday Night Football matchup is the Browns who are 4-3 against the 4-3 Commanders. So that should be a good matchup. That starts 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on FoxTube TV. Until then, for our sideline reporters Randy Moss and Clay Matthews, and for Hunter McKinnon, I'm Mason Irvin saying good night from Berlin. The Steelers win this one.